Yeah, here we are. Let's go ahead and announce the stream. Okay, so the thing that I'm fixing has to do with Safari, and I, of course, I'm not going to run Safari on this system, am I? So I'm not going to be able to show you if anything is actually fixed, but hopefully I will at least be able to do some of the debugging work regardless. Okay, I do have download stream here. Interesting style I seem to have gone for, but whatever. Yes, okay. So there's and there's the actual download streaming client, which is why it's so complicated. There's no README because READMEs are for cowards. Yeah, okay. So basically, download stream plus Safari equals just lots of weird behavior. Okay, I even made that an option. That's nice of me. Period. it just does. Okay, so given all of that, download stream test, I will go ahead and link in that stuff. And let's just throw together a quick test. I think in order to manifest the bad behavior, I'm going to have to generate a bunch of data quickly. Yeah, I think speed is the issue here. Like when it's so basically the download stream, this is so that you can generate data in JavaScript and have it download as if it were a normal file downloading from the server. It uses what's called service workers, and something's wrong. On Safari, I don't know if I can explain the behaviors on Safari, and it may even only be on Safari. Strange. It's all very strange. It's all very strange. Basically, like, what is going on anyway? Basically, the it's like it's not downloading everything. It's hard to diagnose because I'm noticing it on iOS. I should say a user pointed out that this was happening on iOS, and of course iOS is crap, so it won't tell you anything about anything. I guess I should await for what was my actual? Oops. Ennuicastr download stream. Ennuicastr download stream. Service worker is DLS test slash .js. I forgot .load. I also forgot that NeoVim plus HTML equals madness. Oh, well, normal Vim plus HTML also equals madness, as it turns out. Okay, never mind. Cancel. Cancel. We're going with NeoVim. Okay, so I need a stream. Yes. Am I allowed to write this way? This feels like such new age JavaScript. You know what? I don't like this new age JavaScript for doing this. God. I think I should just be using Nano to edit this. Is it smart indent? Is it auto indent? Is it something indent? The only one I have set is smart indent, so I don't know what the hell is going on here. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna like burst just tons of tiny packets, and then if that doesn't work, I'm gonna burst tons of gigantic packets, and we'll see what happens. So if we've sent more than, let's say, 2 gigs, I want to send like a chunky file here. I think it's close, not end. Otherwise, let's send 4K at a time for the time being. Used toSend.length, so I'm not spreading magic numbers around too much. And for the actual download itself, so I've loaded it, that's good. But the actual download function, .stream name body headers, which is apparently mandatory. Really don't know why headers would be mandatory. Content type. I mean, I would usually set content type. Presumably, I always set content type, so I made them mandatory. Stream is stir, and fine. Content type. Application. Application. For some reason, I was unconvinced that I had spelled that correctly. And I think that should be it. Other than obviously closing. Oh, making this actually, you know, be something you can do. On click equals go. Okay, just for the sake of it, let's see whether it works in Firefox. I know that this problem is only in Safari. So hopefully in Firefox, yep, we're just gonna download at, I mean, 25 megabytes per second is pretty decent for literally just a loop that's creating 4 kilobyte chunks. Those are some tiny chunks. It's slowing down. It's down to 16. Anyway, so hopefully that should finish off around at exactly 2 gigabytes. Meanwhile, I am holding I was going to say iPad, Let's see how it likes this. My fear is that this is just going to work, and as a consequence, I'm going to have to try to work out more precisely what the actual bug is. Well, that didn't even work a little bit. That didn't even work like a teensy-tiny bit. So it's reloading the page, which is an expected behavior that has to, like, it's just part of loading the service worker. Sorry for my broken face. That's what happens when I'm looking down at the iPad. 2 gigs. But then it's just saying a problem repeatedly occurred. So somehow this mind-bogglingly simple test is failing in a new and unique way. This really isn't the right time to be doing this load. I guess I can... let's do this. Oops. I'm messing up the global scope, but I don't really care because in this particular case, wow, this is an utterly pointless way to do this. I don't really care because in this particular case, the global scope is just a test environment. So let me go ahead and, so since this is 2 gigs, let's go ahead and delete this test file. It's 2 gigs of zeros, but it is 2 gigs. Okay, so this is not broken. Now with the loading there, instead of trying to, like, with the loading automatic instead of coming later. What is going on? What? This is madness. What I'm experiencing right now is madness. Stream. Content type. I mean, is there a reason why it would care about application octet stream versus application zip or something? Does it just refuse to download octet streams? Why would it have that issue? I mean, I can just lie. I can say it's a zip. This is one of those zip files that has nothing but null bytes. That's my favorite kind of zip files. Just because the behavior that it's having is really strange. Like, it's just reloading the page. But why would it do that? And now it's also not working in Firefox, so I really broke it. The service worker pinger. Hello, Joshua. Really should just work, although when you do a hard refresh, that sometimes breaks that. Okay. So it's working fine on like a grown-up browser for grown-ups. I'm actually going to Again, this has to be off screen, but I'm going to log into my Mac as opposed to, I was using my iPad, and we're going to see how Mac, I was about to call it grown-up Mac, but there's no grown-up Mac. Mac was designed only for toddlers, and iOS was designed for pre-toddlers. Why are you doing these things? Okay, I can't type the letter D because some reason. Okay, what happens on Safari? Nothing at all happens on Safari. Oh yeah, okay. It was asking me if I want to allow downloads. Whoa. What the hell? Lack of tea isn't good for you. I know you can't see what I'm looking at, but Safari is saying test.zip 0 kilobytes of 2.15 gigabytes stopped. Huh? What are you talking about? Why did you stop it? What are you doing? It, like, shows that it's starting the download, hallucinates 2.15 gigs of data, and stops it with no explanation. What? Gosh! Pardon? Let me slow this down. This is going to be really slow. This will be something like 4 megs a second. See that it's still working here. See that it's still working here. It's much slower than 4. Well, I guess, okay. I said it's 4 megs a second, but no, that's maximally 4 megs a second. I'm really gonna slow it down. Wait, no. I also can't do mental arithmetic. 4K, yeah, no. It's more like, oh, I don't know, 40K a second, like exactly what this is showing. Anyway, let's see whether that does a damned thing in Safari Land. JavaScript console, oh. Scope URL should start with the given script URL. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. I know what's happening. It is more picky about the path of things than Firefox is. Firefox just wants them to be on the same domain. This wants them to be at the same root. So I'm going to go ahead and stick the service worker in the root path. Today I learned using the Winlator app for Android. I can play a crap ton of Windows game, which is both good and also very bad. I would assume that Winlator is just like wine plus QEMU. I don't know what else it would be. Download stream dis. Okay. hopefully that will still work here, but also work on Safari. Let's take another gander at the old Safari hellscape. Interesting. So that is downloading on Safari at 40 kilobytes a second as expected. Now let's try to bump that up to full speed. And after bumping it up to full speed, I'm still going to have to check whether, like, iOS versus, like, desktop, Mac, iOS differences. Okay, on desktop, it appears to be downloading at full speed. The previous behavior was really strange. I have no idea why it was behaving as it was before, but I know that the way it was set up wasn't correct, so... So let's reload this on the old crap pad. Press test. Yes, I'm willing to download that. It sure looks like it's downloading at quite a reasonable clip. On iPad, because this is a shitty operating system for idiots, it doesn't actually tell you like the megs per second. It just shows you where you currently are. But it feels like it's about 20 megs per second. Ooh, here's a thought. Here I'm using definitely real 100% authentic readable streams. And I think that on... like I might be using the readable streams polyfill, and maybe the polyfill doesn't work properly on iPad. I mean, I haven't even verified that this is actually working correctly. I need to check that it actually finishes downloading 2 gigs. Let me check, though, whether I am using the polyfill here. Let's see, the final thing is the zipper stream. Oh, that's just coming out of Yallop. Okay. Do I have Yallop here? Yes, I do. I don't have WebStream's polyfill, nor should I need it in Yallop. So this should not be using the polyfill. I mean, there's like a million other reasons why it could be misbehaving. But I should hope that that's not one of them. .43 gigs, 1.45 gigs. This sure looks like it's downloading the full thing. It's going to be a difficult bug to diagnose if I can't reproduce it. Look at all this crap that's just sitting around here. If it's not the download stream itself, which really did seem like the most likely culprit. I mean, is it conceivable that Yallop doesn't work correctly on iOS? Anything's conceivable, I guess. It's not like I extensively test Yallop on iOS. It's not like I extensively test anything on iOS. If I had my way, I would never have to touch iOS ever. 2.15 gigs. Wait, let me do a little bit of math. Is this just a disagreement about what a gig is? Do I not have GNOME calculator? I have no calculator app installed on this system. So that says 2.15 gig. Upon a moment of reflection, I'm betting that that is just base 10 gigabytes as opposed to base 1024 gigabytes. Or base 1000, if you want to say it that way. Which would be annoying, but very Apple to be different for literally no reason, to no one's benefit. I really don't think I need the manual database for GNOME Calculator, but apparently I do because it's not running. Hello? I guess GNOME Calculator is just too complicated for this system. What is happening? I have a calculator. Oh, there it is. There we go. That's the usual performance you want from a calculator. Okay, so here's two. The hell did you just do? Oh, it opened a second calculator is the answer. Here's a standard 2 gigs. Yeah, that's 2.15 base 10 gigs. Fine. That's all I needed to know. Use quit to quit. How dare you not quit me correctly? Okay, so it downloaded everything. If not small chunks, maybe big chunks. Maybe I need to... Damn, there's so many steps in this chain. I immediately thought it has to be the download streamer, because that's such a weird bit of infrastructure, but it's not like I have any evidence of that. I'm just guessing. I'm going to reintroduce this and download 4 megs instead. So it is limiting it to about 40 megs per second. You know what? 80 megs per second, because then that's faster than I've actually seen it behave. What the hell? It can download faster with an explicit pause than it can without? What does this mean? This was downloading at like 30, 40 megabytes per second. Oh wait, of course it's downloading faster. I'm downloading in bigger chunks. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's see how that looks on iOS. From all appearances, it's working just fine. I'm only testing the file size because even the file size was like clearly incorrect when I was testing a real like full download. There it is, 2.15 gigs. Thinking. Does Yollop expose an internal reference to the memory that could maybe become invalid somehow? Buff start shift, module on right. I am putting the buffer directly into this array. I am not duplicating the buffer. Hopefully, that's merely compression as opposed to incompetence, as I appear to be experiencing right now. Okay, so then the question is, where's my C? What actually calls on write? Where is my C code in this? There has to be some C code. Or at least there has to be some binding somewhere. Configs. Oh, the bindings are in configs. Presumably that was unavoidable just because of how the steps work. Awesome. It's a slice. It's a slice. Module heap 8 slice. Buffer plus length. So that means it's a copy. And this is not asynchronous or anything. So unless YALLUP is just like broken somehow, I don't really foresee a way that that is the problem. Now YALLUP isn't using the polyfill. Is the download processor using the polyfill? Interesting. Not too surprising, because I did make it before. So let's see if I get the polyfill into here, if that breaks everything. It wouldn't be, like, I wouldn't even place blame if polyfill has become bit rotted, because it shouldn't be necessary anywhere anymore. Well, it definitely hasn't, because it has a 4.0 release, and I'm on 3 point something here. What I should be doing is just using CDN. NPM web streams polyfill. Let's get the exact same version, just for giggles. 332. That may be enough. It may actually replace readable stream, because I just loaded it as a polyfill. No, okay. So if you load it directly, it's a ponyfill, not a polyfill. In which case, cool. None of this. Great. Thank you. This is slightly maddening. Let me just try explicitly loading the polyfill. Maybe I will console.log readable stream to see what it's actually using. I'm not using the polyfill in the real system, but Oh yeah, I would have to do that first. So this is using the polyfill, it looks like. Because there's no way that it would have... It would just be function native. It would not... Yeah, here we go. Yep. So that's actually forcing it to use the polyfill. Now, whether it fails or not here is really no indication of anything. But let's see if, with the polyfill forced in on iOS, we get a different behavior. So I am reloading on the iPad, pressing download. And boy howdy, does it sure appear like nothing has changed. Unfortunately, all I can do is sit here and watch it download to the end. The thing is, like, what I was observing, something that should have downloaded some couple hundreds of megabytes downloaded like 100K. So I don't really think that, well, you know what that was doing is it had giant chunks, like it was downloading 100 megabytes at a time or something. So maybe I should test with giant chunks. Maybe it's something about transmitting giant chunks to the service worker that's causing the issue. So this is 4 megabytes, 400 megabytes. Why not? 400 megabytes in powers of 2. I, of course, am now getting a 400 megabyte chunk of uint8 array, which nothing's going to be very happy with. This is because the 2 gigs doesn't equally divide 400 megs. It might not be exactly. Apparently, it does. I guess yeah. The way since I used all powers of 2, I did a power of 2, so it'll actually divide just fine. Whoa! You don't say. You don't say. Madness happening on the iOS. Well, wellity, well. Oh wow, now it's just like busted. It's just behaving very strange. All I did was bump this to real big instead of quite big. But it is molto broken. Clear the current downloads. Download. A problem occurred. Thanks so much for your in-depth error messages, iOS. Really useful. Something happened. Yes, exactly, Joshua. The fact that I could not get it to misbehave before, and now I can't get it to behave anything like correctly. Wow, this is kind of shockingly busted. Like, it's more busted than I realized it was capable of being. Just to check that no particular madness has happened, let me bump this back down to 4 megabytes and see whether that works. Oh yeah, immediately, totally fine. Okay, so there is some undocumented chunk size maximum happening here. That is the fundamental problem I suspect. Now, is that problem There are like a couple places where that problem could be happening. Is that in the transmission to... I guess I can solve it at the same layer regardless of where it's happening. I can just solve it in download stream. What's my best fix for this? So, when we read... Yeah. Stream via file API, stream via worker. Yeah, okay. So I could post this in as many batches as are needed. I do wonder it. Well, you know, okay. I was going to say, does Yallop even generate like 400 megs in one gulp? But I think the answer is it just depends on what you feed it. It's just writing out in sort of the same degree of urgency as you send it. You know what? I can report what's happening. But this is not the place to report what's happening. Thinking. My headphones just turned off because I'm not listening to music, and they automatically turn off if they don't hear anything for a while. A long while, like 30 minutes. Let me listen to some music. I'm not like 1,000% confident that the root cause I've just found is the real root cause, because it just seems so unlikely that at some other layer that's actually happening. Do I have on Almagar? Yes, I do. Okay. Today in bad advice, always modify things just as they are live on the server. It'll be great. Oh God, this is like minified. Okay, let's not do that. I'm trying to find some way of testing this that is less invasive, because I really need like this entire stack to know if this is what's actually happening. Okay, here's the way to do this that's less invasive. Let's first off get the non-minified version here. And yes, okay. And I will make this use the non-minified version. And actually, since I'm going to be modifying this in place, I really just want a copy of that here. Okay, hopefully this should be unminified enough that I can figure out something here. even in like the best possible universe, this is going to be a bit messy. This should be download stream, yes. So let's look for the botched up stream code. Here's load, here's stream. Oh, of course, because it's not actually stream I want, it's stream via worker that I want. Okay, so my fundamental question is, how long is this? Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything practical for me to download that I can show you, so this testing is, again, going to have to be off screen, because this is on the real server. This isn't on anything like, this isn't on the testing server. It is encoding. Indeed, it is not spitting out anything until like the end of this file, which is possibly a libav bug that I should also look into, but instead of calling that a libav bug, I'm going to say that the format I'm downloading in is stupid at Apple. No, it's just downloading tens of thousands of 10K chunks all at once. Yeah, it just downloaded 23,920 10K chunks in rapid succession. And I mean, I tried 4K chunks and 4 meg chunks, so I really doubt if 10K is the magic number to screw things up. Thinking. Is it possible that there's some miscommunication of the acknowledgement of the download, that it's not actually waiting for it? Can I prove that one way or another in a fairly straightforward way? What? What is the original of this code? I'm confused. Oh, here it is. Okay, so we have a callback for the specific number. Yeah, can't really get confused. Unless callback no isn't actually set. Maybe callback no. Seems pretty unlikely. It's just a global variable. Is it conceivable that this has absolutely nothing to do with the download stream or YOLUP, and it just has to do with the actual encoding on iOS? Like iOS, maybe its ASM.js is broken? Is there a way for me to test that? by making this much more annoying, I can at least like get a real error message when I see this on iOS, which I currently do not have. God, even just entering a URL on iOS is like the most painful experience imaginable. Okay, so let's see what happens when I alert this on iOS. It's not inconceivable that its behavior would be different on iOS. I would hope that that's not happening, but I mean, at this point I'm flummoxed, so. So unsurprisingly, it does not get any chunks until it finishes the first file. That's just because of the particular encoder for this particular format, I think. We just bump the mic. Very useful. Yep, it's getting a bunch of 10240 chunks. Nothing unexpected. Cancel that download. Oops. I'm just trying to think what my next diagnostic step is. Interesting. How did that name not survive? Probably because it's part of the encoder processor in this version. Actually, I wonder if... How wise is the ponyfill? Well, but I already determined that it probably isn't a polyfill problem, I think. Okay. So now, no readable stream polyfill. Get out the old crap machine. Oh, this is not good. I mean, it shouldn't really matter. Is it possible? Oh, is it possible that it can't run in a worker for some reason? Because this buffer is just an internal reference, so I should not be getting... Like, I should be actually duplicating it here, but I'm not. Is it possible that for some reason on iOS it's not running libav in a worker, or maybe it's not running this particular libav in a worker? It's just inconceivable that this is the problem. It's just inconceivable. It doesn't make any sense. It's even unlikely that this would cause this behavior if this is the problem. Yeah, not the problem. Let's see, what else seems at least vaguely plausible? Within the download processor, via worker. Let me just try to get another sense of whether there's a timing related issue here. Hate reading through this mangled code, but like there are too many places where the issue could be coming from. It will actually take less time to read through this mangled code than it will to like try a bunch of recompilations and trying each thing independently. Oh, okay. The code I was getting confused about was the readable stream at the bottom that's only if it fails, so how shall I inject a timeout? I genuinely have no idea how I shall inject a timeout, because this is so mangled into a generator with an awaiter in it. I mean, I could just cheat. put an actual timeout in there. So theoretically, this should slow down the download to a snail's pace, relatively speaking. Because I now know it's trying to download a bunch of 10K chunks, but what it's actually appearing is not that. Okay, now it's utterly broken. I am somewhat unsure on how it can be quite as broken as it is right now. Oh, yes, no, never mind. I know exactly how it's this broken. This cheat doesn't actually work. I can't just make this function asynchronous because this generator won't work if it is asynchronous. I have to actually figure out how to use the underlying system. So we know 4 is yield. Oh, this sucks. I have no idea how to inject something into this madness. I don't even know how this decides where it's going to when it's done. Because 4 means yield, and that's what it's yielding. But how does it know where to go? Does this break to 8? Is that what that means? It's the yields that are weird. Maybe it just automatically goes to this plus 1? This is very stupid. A.label. I'll bet that whatever is using this just bumps the label up by 1. This is profoundly stupid. That's right, Lucy. That's the way. Okay, no, I'm not going to attempt to understand what's actually happening with label. I'll just see whether I've accidentally made it do what I needed to. Reloading on the crap pad. Attempting to reload on the crap pad. Just closing the tab and doing it a different way on the crap pad. It is not 1,000,000% broken. Yes, it is. Well, this should not be... Should this be generating even if it's already... Shouldn't it be awaiting that streaming? How does this work? This feels wrong. I might have to wait until the download is done and just see whether it's a valid file. Because it looks like... I know you can't see the screen that I'm seeing, but basically what I was expecting is that it would generate the first file, download that, and then wait until that was done downloading before it started generating the second file. Instead, it had, like, fully generated the second file, and I'm not... Well, I guess it's all streaming, so... Yeah, streams, they have this, like, high watermark system, so they're probably just gonna go through. I think that's probably fine, and it's just as broken on iPad as it ever was. Unfixed. Is it the delay? Does it not like that I started the download and then the actual content of the download started after a long time? I mean, I would believe that Apple is capable of that kind of stupidity. To test that... If we haven't sent anything yet, we'll wait 30 seconds to send the first chunk. After that, just sending 4 megabyte chunks as quickly as you ask for them. I don't really need this anymore. That was not the culprit. So Firefox is not even showing it as started downloading until, well, until you start downloading, presumably. I'll leave that open while I open this up on iPad, just in case. So downloaded correctly on Firefox after a while. But, I mean, it should download after a while. That's what I asked it to do. I am loading the same test on iPad. We're going to see if it downloads completely. Yeah, it's obviously working. It just downloaded the first, like, 800 megabytes instantaneously. What the hell is happening? So it's obviously working fine. How many gigs do I have on this iPad mini? I've downloaded a bunch of 2 gigabyte files full of literally 0 bytes. Thus far, it's worked out. It hasn't had any problems. Well, I mean, I've eliminated a bunch of possibilities, but I still have no idea what the actual issue is. which is an unpleasant situation to be in. It's so unpleasant it made my voice go all nasal. Yeah, it's clearly it's clearly Safari specific. It seems iOS specific, and it's very strange. But I don't have the answer yet, so until next time.